try repotting my Christmas cactus today. I trimmed it down the other day and put a bunch of pieces on paper towel, because you have to let where you clip them off, you have to let it heal over. And then I went out and got some gravel out of my driveway, and what I did was I brought it in, washed it really good, and washed it with Dawn dishwashing soap really well, rinsed it like 5 or 6 times, because you want to make sure that you get, if you're using gravel around your place, around your home, you want to make sure that there's no oil or any kind of gas or anything like that on it. So you want to make sure you wash it really well. This plant has been in this same pot for, oh good Lord, probably it's been a good 5 years, and this year I decided I better change it up. And I've got a Christmas cactus, I've got an Easter cactus. So the reason that I'm doing this is because the soil I had it in isn't really good for that plant, because you have to think about where these plants grow. They actually grow on rocks and in the forks of trees and stuff like that, which means that they're just living on like a waste. So anyway, now let's move this over here, and now we got to try to get this out of the pot. Oh, I hope I don't break it or anything. I have babied this thing for so long. Oh, thank you. And I don't know if you guys know it or not, but a Christmas cactus, well actually any of them, really need to be root bound. I'm just loosening it so the roots can get into the new soil. But anyway, these plants really, it's got some really good roots on it, but these plants really need to be root bound before they bloom. A plant like this has to be under stress before it will bloom. All right, that's actually still really good soil. But it's good to change your soil on these things every once in a while, or they do get bad. And besides that, I'm going to be planting some more around this, because I want this plant to be full and huge. Got to get it back up straight here. You don't really want to plant it any deeper than what it was, but you want more room because you want to give it more growing room. And besides that, like I said, I'm going to be putting some more pieces around it. In hopes that they'll take. I mean, I put a bunch in a couple of years ago, and only about 3 out of all of them, no, maybe 2. About 2 out of all of them took. So, anyway, I got the Miracle Grow soil, hoping that it would give them a good boost. You wouldn't believe the trimming that I had to do on this thing, because it in that little bitty pot, it got so huge, but it wouldn't bloom. Just make sure you pack it in. Oh, sorry, that was my pan popping. Once I get it packed in really well, then I will water it down, water it all the way through. And this is the beginning of spring, so it'll have a good start for the summer. Because I do put it outside during the summer. I just make sure that it's not in any direct sunlight or heat. And I will take a bunch of rocks and put in the bottom pan for it and keep that filled with water, because they love the humidity. So I am faking humidity for it by putting rocks in the bottom of the pan and putting some water in that, so as it evaporates it comes up onto the plant. All right. I'm trying really hard not to make a mess here, because I'm doing this in my kitchen. Alright, I'm going to take it and water it real good and let it drain, and we'll be back. Alright, so got that replanted, and I just put some little pieces all the way around it to fill it out, and then I just put some gravel in the bottom of the drainage pan, so when water goes through it doesn't set on it, set in it, because you do not want this setting in water, and that'll help keep it drained. Plus you can put water in the bottom of this and it will help keep the plant in the right humidity for it. Alright, so let's move that out of the way. I got to work with that rock a little bit. Okay, and then I filled another little pot here. And now what I'm going to do is just go around, and once you clip the clippings, remember I said you have to set them out for about 2 or 3 days to let the bottoms heal over a little bit. And then you just stick them in the dirt like that. And just take care of them until they root. You don't want to keep them too wet, but you want them damp until they root. And I would say leave them in this little pot for probably, what I did was leave them in here for the first year, and then I move them to a little bit bigger pot where I think, well, that one's not going to work, where I think they're going to stay for at least a couple of years. And then after that, then I worry about moving them to another pot. But just remember that it will not bloom until your roots are bound. Like I said, it has to be under some kind of stress before they will bloom. But that's pretty much like any cactus, just about. They have to be under stress. Anyway, that'll give me a starter pot, and then I gotta do another one. Now I'm going to do another little starter pot. Don't you just love it when you get dirt everywhere? You want to pack it down a little. Don't pack it down real tight. This is going to be a new starter pot, and the pieces I put in this one will be in here for about, that's the reason I picked this size of pot. It'll be in here about 2 years before I switch it to a bigger pot, because I want to try to get the roots to bound up. I want the roots to become crowded. And also, guys, I'm using Cactus, Palm, and Citrus potting soil, fast draining formula. This is great for succulents, and cactuses of any color or kind, excuse me. But it's got Miracle-Gro plant food in it. It's fantastic for this kind of stuff, and this is good for starting your plants. But it's also good for just leaving your plants in this soil, and you don't have to worry about it, that the soil's not good. This is fantastic soil for any kind of cactus. But this is going to be another, by the end of summer, this will be probably twice the size. Well, the ones that take. I mean, you can't always know that they're all going to take. That's why I always put so many in one pot, because that way what don't take I can pull out and get rid of and stick some new starters in around. Because there's, you know, they're plants, there's no guarantee for any of them. So just do your best. And don't be disappointed if they don't take. Just start over, do it again. But I guarantee you some of them will take. Why is that bending the other way? All right. But, you know, just, you don't have to have a green thumb or anything like that. Well, I mean, it helps if you know what you're doing, but you don't have to have a green thumb. The only thing it takes is the willingness to make it work. Oh. Alright. But anyway, guys, there we go. There's a new start, and by the end of summer, that thing will be huge. And by the end of summer, I'll bring you back and show all of these to you.